Hi everybody, and welcome to video 4 of our Unit 11 geometry units. And so this video is on similar triangles. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to read everything that they have here on these next 2.5 pages. It explains what it means to be similar, how you set up the proportions or the ratios, and it goes through and takes you through some of the examples. So I want you to pause this video, read those next 2 pages, and then when you're ready, start the video and we'll do some of the practice problems together. Okay, so now that you've had a chance to read over the definitions, look at a couple of examples, let's go ahead and try some of these problems out together. In exercises 1 through 4, triangle LOG is similar to triangle RIT. So when I start something like this, the first thing I like to do is mark it up in colors, in 3 different colors, because we've got 3 different angles here and 3 different sides. So the first thing I look at is what comes first. So it's saying L is similar to R. So, and then O is similar to I, and G is similar to T. So if you look at those angles, we can mark them. So we have L is right here, and I'm going to do that in blue, is similar to R, which is right here. So I'm going to do that as 1. Then I'm going to switch colors to red here, and we have O, so I'm going to put 2 little lines now, is similar to I. And then again, I'm going to take a different color, and it's saying G is similar to T. So G right here in green is going to be similar to T. So where it says list all pairs of corresponding angles, you can go ahead and write those out. You could say, and I know there's not a whole lot of room here, so I'm going to do it up here. So angle L is similar to angle R. And then we have angle O is similar to angle I. And angle G is similar to angle T. Okay, the next question says name all pairs of corresponding sides. And again, I always like to do these in different colors. So I'm going to start with my red here. And I have LO is similar to RI. So LO would be this side right here, is similar to RI. And then I'm going to get some blue right here. It says OG would come next, is similar to IT. So OG here is similar to IT. And then the last one would be LG, so right here, would be similar to RT. And again, I know there's not a whole lot of room, but you could write those down here if they wanted the corresponding sides. So you could do OL, so segment OL is similar to segment RI. And you could say segment OG is similar to TI. And then segment LG is similar to TR. All right, so there's our corresponding sides. So let's take a look at 3. OL over IR is equal to OG over blank. So if we look here, OL over IR is similar to OG over TI. Or OG, we're going to say IT. So IT. And the reason I changed it to IT was because since they said O to G, I did the corresponding one I to T. So number 4, we have LG over blank is similar to GO over TI. So I'm going to look at GO over TI first. So GO over TI is similar to LG over RT. So that's what I would put here in the question mark. It's similar to RT. And again, you're kind of look at the colors since you already color coordinated, and you can see which side goes with the other. All right, so number 5, true or false? Triangle BAE and triangle DCE are right triangles. So let's go ahead and break these triangles apart. So we got BAE would be this big triangle here, and triangle DCE would be the smaller triangle that is inside the bigger one. And yeah, since they both have these 90-degree angles, they are right angles, or right triangles. So that's true. All right, let's take a look at number 6. It's saying the measure of angle ABE is similar to the measure of angle CDE. And that would also be true because if you look at where they are in the same position. Angle B over here is similar to angle D, and angle A is similar to angle C, and E is itself. So since they both share that same angle and they're both 90, it means these two angles have to be the same. So this one would be true. All right, so let's take a look at the next one. All right, so if we look at, again, angle B and angle D, those are similar. They're in the same position here. And then we have angle A and angle C. They're both 90. And then angle E right here, well, it is itself. So it's the same angle. So again, this one is true. All right, so let's take a look at number 8. CE over AE, so I'm going to do this in colors. So they're saying this portion right here, CE over this whole thing, AE, is equal to BA over DE. Well, here's BA, and here would be DE. And those are not corresponding parts. So since they're not the corresponding parts, it is false. Because remember, they have to be in the same position. These two, CE and AE, are in the same position, but BA and DE are not. So number 8 is false. Okay, I'm going to kind of erase what I have here. All right, number 9. So number 9, I have BA. So again, I'm going to do this with colors. So here's BA over DC. Okay, those two are in the same position. Is equal to BE, so that would be this whole length here, over DE. And since those are both the legs and the hypotenuse, and they are corresponding, so this one would be true. So they are similar triangles. All right, so if you go to the next page here, this one has a bunch of class exercises for you to do. So what I would like you to do is pause the video and go ahead and try to do numbers 1 through 5. And again, you can already kind of see I have some markings here. Since this is telling me triangle ABC is similar to PQR, like I said before, I like to mark them up so I know which ones they're talking about. So since this length right here, AB, is similar to PQ, so right here, I'm going to do this, the blue. So this, you can do a straight line if you want to make the side a certain color. But I know this AB right here is similar to PQ. So those, I'm going to put them both blue. Then it tells me BC. So right here, BC would be this length right here. That is similar to QR. So QR would be this length here. And then the last length I have is AC. So this side here is similar to PR. So PR would be right here. So now my colors, I can just match them up when I'm looking at my diagram. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and try 1 through 5. Okay, so let's take a look at how you did. So for number 1, again, since we marked up all the colors, the missing side here was RQ. For number 2, what went in the question mark was QP. For number 3, the length was 9. Number 4, 10. And number 5, 104 degrees. Because remember, triangles add to 180 degrees. These two, to solve them, I set up a ratio and then, or a proportion. And then the way that you solve proportions too is to remember you can cross multiply. So if you want to see all the work for these problems, please go to the topics page and look at the answer key. And I have all my worked out solutions with all the proportions and how I solved it. All right, so if you go ahead and why don't you pause the video and try to solve 6 through 10. Okay, so let's look at 6 through 10 here. So number 6, the length of AE is 48. 7, the length of AB is 25. 8, the length of AD is 50. 9, if the measure of angle A here is 25 degrees, then find the measure of angle ABC. Well, remember, ABC would be right here, this angle. And the measure of angle ADE, so ADE would be this angle right here. So when you solve those were 65, because again, you know, this is 90, this is 25, and all triangles add to 180. Number 10, BC over D equals 1/2, then AB over AD also equals 1/2. And again, if you want to see all of my work on how I got these solutions, go to the topics page and look at the answer key. All right, so go ahead and pause the video and you can try the remaining problems on this page. For these problems, I always like to color code them. And you might want to, like number 11 is already separated out, but when you get to problems like 13, you might want to draw the big triangle and the little triangle on a separate sheet of paper. Okay, so that way you can kind of see the two triangles a little bit easier. So it might be easier to copy them on a separate sheet of paper. And once again, my answers on how I set all of them up are on the answer key on the topics page, okay? So pause the video and do 11 through 16. Okay, so let's take a look at how you did. So again, remember, when you're doing like 11 through 16, I always like to color code them and you go in order of the triangles, similarity. So MA I did in red, is similar to SR. So SR is also in red. AB, so AB I did in green, is similar to RO, which I also did in green here. And then MB in blue, is similar to SO. So I did SO in blue. Again, so you're matching up the colors when you set up your proportions. So for 11, I got X equals 5, Y equals 9. 12, X equals 20, Y equals 3. 13, X equals 27, Y equals 25. 14, X equals 5, Y equals 24. For 15, X equals 46.3, Y equals 14. 16, X equals 18, and Y equals 36. Okay, again, to see all of my proportions and all my algebra, my worked out solutions, go to the topics page and look at the Unit 11 Geometry Notes key, and you'll see all of my work there on how I got these answers. All right, thanks for watching the video.